So these are basic functions. Is not that much tough, but few things which we'll talk. Let me now the first function they are talking about round function, which is generally it's rounding the value if it is in decimal. Another is they're truncating a numeric value, so which is nothing but if you wanted to take it only a integer value from your decimal value, so you can take it with the truncation function, which is nothing but your int function. Second function is function that works with a missing value. Okay, so we have a separate formula. Formula in the sense we have a function which when you take it for a calculation, it doesn't consider your all missing values or not. If you wanted to ignore your missings, use that function. If you don't want to ignore it, you can use another function. So we have a different type of function. What will happen if I show you the same thing in Excel? Generally, the same thing happen if you have value for 4 and if you value 5, then if you have a value 6 and somewhere if it is uh, dot, okay, the value look like this. Dot is nothing but the missing value. If you try to use a sum functions by adding these three values, you are getting as 19 over here. But another way, if you try to do it like this plus this plus this plus this, correct? So you won't get any output. As if you're trying to add this value, you have missing in the place. Okay. Another, if you try to do averages, so AVG, I can do average for these all options. So I'm getting 9.5. So how initially 9.5 is coming? Let me try. So either we are going to divide with 19 or a 4 number. So you have a value of 4 plus 6 plus 9 plus, okay, 19, correct? Okay, sorry, I was taking it this 2 over here. Okay, it should not be a K. It will here only. Okay, so ideally should be look like 3 6.33. So what is it? 4 plus 6 plus 9 9. So 19 divided by 3, if you do, you get 6.3. But the case is if you look at this averages, so missing is nothing but there's nothing happen over there. So that might be 0. So ideally, if you wanted to take average, it should not be considered as only till 3 digits for a divide. It should be a 4 digit because I wanted to take average of this all 3, 4, correct? So we should divide by 4. So now generally it's not going to happen until unless it's not making a 0 over here, correct? So this should be ideally a value, correct? So we don't have value for 0. So now if you're putting it missing, your average will become 6.3. If you're putting 0, then average will become 4.5. The reason behind that, I'm summing all this 4 and dividing by 4. Earlier, if you're putting dot, it will sum up only 3 and divide by 3. Sadly, that is not be a averages. Okay, that will be a wrong. So what you can do, you can impute by something as 0, then you can take averages of, correct? So mathematically it happens. So try to use the function for that, and it will help you again back. Okay. And truncation is nothing but we use int function. Okay, int to extract the integer value from your decimal. Let's say we have a value called this, and if I wanted to extract, so I can use int for this. So I'll get only the integer value. So I'm just explaining in Excel. Same will do it over there also. So again, if you have a value like this, if you wanted to make decimal as 1 point, so I can say, okay, round at what number you wanted to make. So take this as number, then so one place. So this is making a one place of roundup. So so 10th place is nothing but 6. If it is more than 5, so it's going to be round up as 4 over here. And same thing if you tell it to keep it as 0, this only round up till here. So we don't have value as 6 over here. So there will be effect on this. If you wanted to make a 4th place till 3rd place as a round up, the value will look like this. So mathematically, for using into mathematics, we try to use this type of concept. Otherwise, not that much required. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you go to another one, they are saying about character and numeric value are missing. And there is a two functions which we already knew that for missing into numeric. Numeric always denoted by dot and char always denoted by blank. Correct? Char will be blank always as to represent as missing, and again numeric to present as missing as we use a dot. Correct? So we'll be trying
Yeah.
to use descriptive statistics. Nothing but your mean, your minimum, maximum. We'll be trying mean. We'll be trying maximum. We'll be trying again. We'll try minimum to. Then again we'll try largest. So we'll try first largest.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try second largest. What will happen if someone provide me data like this? Okay, and they said, okay, tell me the which is the first largest, which is the third largest. So I can say this is the first largest and this could be a third largest. If you have a whole bunch of values over here, so if you wanted to extract, you can extract like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is for first largest. But what will happen with minimum maximum? This will give you a minimum in this whole set of data, correct? And this will give you maximum. But if someone is wanted to know which is the largest, let's say you are getting a salary for each month, and I want to know which was my third largest salary. For that, we will able to use this largest, smallest function. Someone are interested to know third smallest value, correct? So we'll be using a keyword called smallest over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we have computing a sum function, so which we talked just now, the ways of doing summing. So here, if you have a missing, I will do sum. Correct. There is a ways to do summing. So if you do sum like this should not be a proper way. If something is missing over here, you'll end up with having a missing value over here also. So we'll try to use the formula like this in your SAS to come up with the proper answer. If you do summing like this using a function, what will happen? We are going to ignore the missing. If any missing is there, we are not going to take it into consideration. Okay. So we have mathematical constant. What is the value of pi? Let's say you wanted to calculate the value of pi inside and a constant value. How are we going to take it? Then we have computing some useful constant, which is nothing but your what is the if you are trying to give them as a for your storage value, how much number it can store. If you're giving a storage value as 5, how much value it can store. So they'll give you the constant value for sure. Then we have generating a random number. This is nothing but we use to generate a random number between 0 and 1. So what will happen? So you will be having lots of population data, correct? In a population data, let's say you have 20,000 of record. From a 20,000 of record, you wanted to select a random 20% of your data from 20,000. So you have 20,000 of rows and you wanted to select 20% of our records from this 20%. So how are we going to take this as randomly? So
Okay.
that is a concept of when you have a population data and you wanted to take a sample for doing any calculation.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it? Your population covers entire data, correct? And sample it's covering a similar group of amount of a data, and it has the same property that population has, but we are not going to take it as a consideration of a whole data. So if you want a 20% of data from your 20,000, so how we'll try this? We'll try this concept called random function concept, is to extract this 20% data randomly. So when you think about lottery draw, correct? So let's say you created one entry form and they said you, okay, fill this form, there will be lucky draw. So the winner you are going to consider as three participants, correct? And that too you'll say, okay, the number will be random. So we don't know who is going to be get selected over here, correct? Getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll be talking about some special function as there. Then we have a function called return the value from the previous observation. This is nothing but your lag function. So lag is when you do a time series analysis. Okay, so we so let's say a person's salary. Let's say he is having a 5 years of experience, correct? And here's this salary will be more than a person who is having a 3 years of 2 years of experience, correct? So salary for in a time series, what we do? We just wanted to know what is the past experience making an influence to get the more salary. You'll be having up and down based on your experience, correct? So you are looking at previous value for a comparison, correct? So lag is the concept which is used in your time series to make data normalization. So for doing a transformation, we try to use this lag function. Lag, we have in a lag we have many things. So lag 1, lag 2, lag 3. So what it does, so let's say you have a data like this. So when you say lag 1, so this data will be having like this. If you say lag 2, be like this, lag 3. So now if you do a differentiation from here, you can say, okay, this particular data with related to this above data. So you can compare with this. So if I compare 5 minus 1, I'll be saving, we have a 4 year of differences over here. Correct? How many years of difference over here? Almost of 4 years in between general. So if you're taking a 3 lag, if you're taking a 1 lag, what will happen? So you're checking what is the difference between, you will be going over here, say equal to 2 minus. Equal to 2 minus 1. So there's 1 year of a gap. So if you remove this and if you try to execute the same formula, so these are the differences you're getting it. So what is the relationship between the current observation and the previous one? What is the difference you're getting it? So it's representing here. If you try to plot this and this together, so here if you increase your x this value, and this also will value will get increased. So both are dependent to each other, correct?
Yeah.
So this we use this concept into time series to do data smoothing, all those things. So lag will help you. So in this chapter, we are talking about all those functions. So if you come up with this particular one, so first they started with your round functions, and they're starting with int functions. As round suggests, is used to round up either the nearest integer or the value of the 10th and 100th position. This is easier. We have already used it in earlier childhood. So this is nothing but if you try to get this int for this age, which is already declared over here, what will happen? You will get only 18 as a number. But if you try to round off over here with a one decimal point, what value you will get? Correct? This is all easy. We are not going to that much. Okay. Now this is function that work with a missing value. So this concept we have already learned earlier, which is nothing but variable plus concept. Correct? This is nothing but variable plus increment concept. Right? So where we say this is my variable which I'm going to create. If I say total, so here we don't want to use the retain function. Correct?
Another video quality and थोड़ी सी खराब है तो should I try to reconnect or मुझे actually this मिला है इसमें what
Uh,
I can
okay, screen you are able to see.
अब थोड़ा सा better है या
Okay, now it's okay. Okay, so here we are trying to.
नहीं अभी फिर से खराब है
Okay, wait, just wait. Now try to look at this. Is correct?
yeah yeah
Okay.
slightly better
So now if we trying to use this total plus salary, which is nothing but the concept which is applied over here. So here variable is going to be created as total. Okay. And increment is nothing but the value need to be incremented if you are adding it. Here what will happen? There's a two concept. You can write it total equal to total plus salary. What will happen? Here if salary is missing, you'll be end up with your missing. Correct?
yeah yeah
So here we have to use a function called retain.
yeah we did this in 8th chapter
Here we don't want to use the retain function because
total plus salary
yeah, your increment is getting ignored. Your increment operator is getting ignored. So this is not away, we'll ignore that and value is getting retained again back. Getting it? So here what we're trying to do it over here. So we have a data set of learn.blood. We are trying to find out how many missings are there into that particular section. Getting it? So how many missing is there in the WBC? How many missing is there? What will happen if you try to use this particular condition? If it is true, the value will be increment. If it is not true, value will be increment as 0. We'll go with the Excel. So you have a value like this. Let's say we'll create this gender WBC RBC. Correct. So gender we have M. We don't have gender here. We have female. We have female. We have male. And we have female. Let's say you have WBC something. Again, you are missing. Some number as this. So now my entire target is to count how many missing is there into this particular section called gender. I just wanted to know the count, and we are trying to get the count for missing in this particular section, and we are trying to get the count of missing in this section. So we are trying to create these many variables. So we are trying to create miss gender over here, then miss WBC and miss RBC. Correct. This is my requirement, and I just wanted to know how many missing are there. So we are trying to use the cumulative functions. So when you say your variable plus increment, it is nothing but your cumulative function which you're trying to build. So if you say miss plus one, if I'm trying to find out something with if condition, if it is match, my increment will go 1. If not, my increment will go 0. Now if you look at this question, oh, enter the first page. we are trying to get this conditions to be implemented. So we said condition is this, and this is another condition. Okay, so we have three conditions to in place. So in this case, if you're trying to find out if there is any space, just give them a Smith counter plus one. So if I say, so my misgender has got created variable, which is initially initialized by 0, correct? Now another step, we are saying if my condition is true, then misgender plus 1. Now in a first steps, my condition is not true, correct? So we'll end up with having the value called 0, which is initialized at and the 0 value, correct? Because my condition is not true, so increment will won't
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
In the second case, we are saying my value is 0, which is retained from your row number 1, and my second condition, my second row is true, so I can add 1, I'll get 1. Third, I don't have value for that, I'll say 1, my condition is not true, I'll say 0, correct? Again 1 earlier, then plus, there's no missing, then 0. And if it is missing again over here, so what you can do over here, we can say okay, plus 1, then again we have missing, and we say 1, and here we don't have any value as missing, then plus 0. So based on condition, at the end of a record, you're going to get the cumulative of missing. So you can directly say by looking at the end of a line, how many missings are there over here in the gender. Got it? Hmm? Yeah. Last time we did.
I think it was there in question as a question in section chapter 8.
Okay, okay. Okay. Second, you can try by using this, and here we are trying to say, okay, if cholesterol less than 200 and cholesterol not equal to dot, then create one variable called label, which is nothing but assigned with a low value as a value. Same if cholesterol greater than 200, then label is equal to high. There's nothing but you're creating a condition, nothing else. Same thing, you can use it by below options.
Not missing.
So another way I always suggest to use like this, because what happen in sometimes, if you're trying to find out a space, if it is space is not there, something is written, you will not able to end up with your conclusion. So if you use missing, it only will consider as a missing value, not other type of value. So try to use this keyword instead of assigning the value, instead of looking that value. So here we are trying to write the query, and we are saying okay, gender equal to, then putting into dot. If you missed putting this space in between this particular, you end up with no result, correct? So in this case, what will happen, you try to use the missing keyword and put it into bracket of gender. It will consider same as it is here, correct? It will look for a space as missing value, then it will do the same work. So I always suggest you to use this, not to everyone, because
Yes.
sometimes what happen, instead of dot you put it something else, and you try running a query and you're not getting a result. But if you try using missing as a keyword, it will try to find out a missing means a dot in your particular data sets for a particular column to do a calculations. Same thing it try over here. If cholesterol is less than 200 and not missing, we are trying to say not missing only for these values.
Question for just for example, in some फाइल्स जो डिलीमिटर होता है, स्पेस नहीं होता है, वो डिलीमिटर इन फॉर्म ऑफ होता है। तो उसमें डीएसडी डीएलएम लगा के फिर वो मिसिंग का बदल रहे हो फिर।
Now here what is happening, your data set is got created. So what, see, what you're trying to say, using a DSG and DLM.
या तो वो मिसिंग एज डिलीमिटर मिसिंग गेट में डिलीमिटर डेफिनेशन चेंज कर दो।
No, what is happening over here, you got your data set, correct? Let's say this is your gender and this is your salary for the month. Let's say for Jan salary and this is for, let's say, Fab salary, correct? What happened, let's say these are account number. You are having account number like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You wanted to transfer something, okay? You transferred for account number 1, you're transferred. Account number 2, you're transferred. For second, you have not transferred for both those ones. Being a guy, I wanted to know how many person is not got transferred. So how many missing are there? How many need to be transferred? So, so this is the another way of counting the number of missing in this. Getting it? It's a way of counting a missing. Let's say you went to collecting a survey, okay? Or someone provided you a task and they said, okay, you need to fill this all. And you try filling it and you are not filling all those information. I wanted to know who are filled all information. Correct? So in a backend, there will be a database. Let's say, okay, there will be a first name, there will be a last name, correct? There will be a database called first name, L name, and nothing but account, and this is deleted, and you can keep it okay. Their education, let's say. Now I wanted to fill this all those databases. Now you try getting data from people. So now some might people fill this only. Some they have only one name. Some they don't have a last name. So I wanted to know how many don't have a last name. If I run this query, what will happen? I'll get to know how many person don't have a last name. Correct? You can try in a different way. As one query will not suit for one only example. Getting it? If someone not filled their education and you want to know how many people not filled education, you'll get to know by looking up this. Correct? See, I'm just trying to relate it. So if you try to do it like that, you will be having a different type of query need to be built. It is not the people who is writing a query, their query need to be followed. You can design your own query over here. You can use the same concept to find out how many missing are there. Getting it? And even though you can extract those data, correct? If a person wanted to know this is having, let's say, this is fully filled, correct? And this also filled. This is not filled in a proper way. Some have MBA, BTech. So someone feel like this, correct? I wanted to know how many is not filled this MBA. So how many not filled education? So if and I wanted to know their full details, and I wanted to know how many. See, there's a two way. One client will say, okay, I want to know how many missings are there in this particular education section, and how many is not filled it. Two way, and how many filled is. So one way, if you wanted to know the count of that, you can use this. If you want data to be extracted based on that, so you can directly say, okay, edu. So you can say missing edu, then output goes to some missing data set which you have created. So you'll get to know how many edu is missing. So how many people not filled edu. Same query you can repeat it again, bang, and you wanted to know how many is filled it. Correct. In this you can divide into two parts. So one is this, and you can say else your output e output and correct e edu. So these two have different information. One data which will get at edu, which is nothing but all missing edu will who those who are not filled it. Second, the data which you're getting, it's all corrected information. And if you wanted to get the count, then you have to use this concept called miss plus one. Correct it. It's all about requirement. Getting it? So these are the few functions which we use widely into, let's say, this function talks about if anything is missing. Okay. So let's say if you go it over here, if someone says, okay, if this is a missing, make this missing all. The requirement, it's all about requirement. Someone says, okay, if someone made as an MBA, I don't want data to be look like a normal data. Make them as missing. I wanted to make like this. It's all about requirement. Okay, this will be space. This will be space. And this will be a dot. So if somewhere MBA is there, I wanted to make them as missing. It's all requirement. And if MBA is there, I want to delete this observation. It's all about requirement. So with the help of this, which we are trying to use the call routine function. The call routine function is used to call a missing functionality. When you say call missing, we are trying to get the functionality of missing, which is tracked earlier, correct? So we already know for a numeric, we represent by dot. For a character, we represent by blank, correct? We represent by blank. So now with the help of this, if someone says, okay, if my condition is going to be met, I want these observation to be as missing. It's all requirement. If I say if edu equal to MBA, then call missing both those sections. Let's say I wanted to make F name comma L name as missing. So what we're trying to do it over here, if I'm getting this true condition, these F name and L name won't be visible, won't be appeared over here. It will be showing as missing because we are trying to call the missing functionality. So if this my condition is true, this should show as missing. It's somewhere it's requirement. It is not mandatory that you should use it, but it's all requirement. So what will happen? It will make me very easy. Now what will happen? Wherever I'll find MBA, I'll be having missing. So for me, it bit easy to delete this data in a one shot. I can say directly if directly you can say if f name equal to dot, then delete. Correct. So you can easily delete it. Otherwise, what will happen? You have to write so many queries, so many if condition to delete different type of data. If this data related to, let's say, D and this related to B, first you'll be saying, okay, if f name is equal to D, then delete. If f name is equal to B, then delete. So you have to write so many queries. Correct. In this case, if you try call missing functionality, it will have a missing functionality to be enabled over there, and in a one shot you can delete it. Got it?
Yeah.
So these are the functionality which we use. So let's say with a few condition you're trying to, just give me 1 minute.
Yeah. Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So here we are trying to use this call missing functionality for few many variables, which is nothing but your character variable and your numeric variable. Correct? If you look at these, are the variable are numeric, and these are the variable are character. So what will happen? Your missing functionality impact based on this condition will have on character and as well as on numeric. Correct? So as earlier this was data like this, correct? A So with the help of this, we are trying to make the missings for all these three variables. Let's say nothing but your something called AC also, account number. Getting it? So my impact should affect on these three variables. Correct? So what will happen for this, as this is a numeric, so numeric will be represented by dot, and this will be represented by blank, and this will be blank. Correct? Getting it? So this code talks about that. And I wanted to make it use. So that's why I said, okay, x1 and 10, xy are set to be numeric missing, and x1 and x2 set to be character value missing. Correct? This is when you combine two together to make them as missing. This is nothing but
I off written X.
okay. So here y off is written. So you might be having a series of a data, so series of a column. So starting from A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A10. Getting it? So if you define A1 to A10, hello, 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 hello. Now go to another. So this is just now we have had a detailed discussion while doing into Excel. So here we are trying to use the condition format while creating this mean and whatever it may be. So here we are trying to use, and when you say we are using the keyword called n, mean, minimum, and maximum, and then there is more one concept called n miss. Okay, so we have a concept like n equal to number of present observation. Okay, the number of present observation or a value, observation value. So try to find out this. When you say n miss, it is try to find out how many number of missings are there. So number of missing. Okay. Then you have minimum and maximum is nothing but normal to find out the minimum into this particular row and maximum in this particular row. Then you have mean, which is nothing but your averages, and is a number of present value. So if you look at over here, try to look at with this example only. They said we are going to create this number of row, which is nothing but x1, q1 to q10. Correct?
Yeah.
And we say over here, n means number of present observation. Now we are trying to say from q1 to q10, if my number of present is greater than 7, correct? N is going to find out how many number are present. So in this case, number are present almost of in 10, we have present of more than 7. So we are trying to put a condition. If some, let's say in terms of, you can say the premium people are paying it. If we say if n, so let's say in quarterly they are paying it. if you say the condition like if n from quarter 1 to quarter 4 is greater than 3, then we are going to calculate the mean of that, how much averagely he paid it, correct, or something else. So you can try like this. So here what we are trying is, we are trying to find out if a missing is, if a present is more than 7, then do this calculation. Getting it? So if not, we won't do it. So now if you go back for the output, here what you can do, how many we'll able to calculate for this, correct? We won't able to calculate for this any mean, because this is not the number which is present. It is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this calculation won't happen. My requirement is if it's greater than 7, a present value, then we do calculation of mean for this all value. Getting it?
Yeah.
So this is nothing but to find out the maximum in this Q1 and Q10, which is, will be nothing but 9 will be maximum in first, then maximum in this will be your 5, and this will give you first maximum. But the question again comes up when people wanted to try second maximum. That may be a similar value. If you look at the second one, you have two maximum. Second maximum is 2, correct? 4, 4. So there is a ways to calculate again how many second maximum is there. So we'll go ahead with looking up this function called, this you got to understand, correct? In this you'll be trying to find out the minimum and you'll be trying to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah.
But another query which we have, which is nothing but, so here we're calculating our median, all those things. So here we have a formula to find out the largest one. So the keyword look like this. You try to find out the largest of one of Q1 and Q10. So here also you can do the same concept to find out the second largest, first largest. This is the keyword which we used it. When you go to your data set over here, so here we are using, so here we can say, okay, new, okay, the largest. So my target is to find out the second largest, equal to, I can put this value, make them as missing. So here you have to change as second largest. You know, first largest is nothing but your maximum, correct? Which you're not able to get to maximum. But here when you use this largest concept, what will happen? It will give you the second maximum. And if you want third, so you got third. If you try to execute this, so something is Q1 to Q10 I have mentioned. It should not be Q1, it should be A1 to A5. If we try to execute, correct? For first, we won't get any largest. Because we don't have a second largest, correct? We have a first largest only. Got it? Yeah. So by using this formula, it will help you to find out the first largest, second largest for doing calculations. So you can see directly if my second largest, so if my second largest is greater than 4, then do calculation, correct? It may happen. You have fixed it. Greater than 5, then I'm going to do something, correct?
Yeah.
It depends. If you say, okay, if age is, you have number of people age, if it's number of people age is greater than this, based on your calculation of a second age, then I'll do some calculation. So you can produce a calculation based on that. Okay. So here, same things you can try for your smallest two. If you write smallest, it will give you the smallest of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maximum will work only to get the maximum, and minimum will work to get the minimum. It won't give you, it will only give you the max and min. But if you try to get second, third, fourth, then you have to use smallest and largest. Got it? The same, you have smallest. This we already talked. I'll go through again back. I'll explain you the query. First query, if you have any missings in any section of variable, then you will end up with result as missing, correct? In this case, it won't happen as missing is going to be ignored. Correct? Correct. Another case, in this case, we try to show you Excel where I try to say that if you wanted to take mean, bit difficult by using like this. If any values is missing, they'll give you the mean based on the value present. Okay, it will divide by the present value, correct? But I wanted to consider that missings to be for a calculation of mean. So in that case, what we can do, we can replace the missing by 0 and we can calculate while including of that particular count too, correct? So this is nothing but always try to use this while calculating of or calculating of sum also, because I always suggest people to use it like this. Don't use it. Sometimes what will happen, if there is a missing, it end up with a different result. You won't be having any result if there is a missings. And if you're trying to calculate the mean, the sum also, for a sum it's not important for mean, but for a sum also if you use, that's not a problem because you don't have no weightage, correct? Got it? So here, if you try to look at this, so here let's say we have a missing for this, and if we're trying to use sum function, let's say total equal to sum of your, it works fine, a1 to, so you can a1 to a5, correct? Another way you can write is total 1 equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 and plus a4 and a5, correct? You can use it like this, but in this case I won't get results, correct? Only for first row, but in this case you will get the result. But always if you use it in a different way where you can say I can replace missing by 0, that finds, correct? So this is 0 options is applicable when you try to do mean. That will helpful. Now if you try executing it, won't get result for total one. Correct? So but if you calculate mean, this will be a problem. So if you try to calculate mean of this, now the problem over here, now this second row and third row mean is getting calculated based on dividing of 5, correct? This mean, if because here missing is there, won't able to do it. So the mean which you are looking over here is 6, which is nothing but 6 divided.
So this is sum, right?
Not sum, this mean.
Okay.
So if you divide by
Yeah. Okay.
6 divided by 1, you'll end up with 6 only, correct?
अच्छा total one में sum use किया था. Okay.
Because we won't get a mean for this because we have only
ठीक है,
single value.
Yeah.
So we should have a mean by dividing it of number of this. So when I replace by using this, so I'll be having a different mean concept for all. If I replace 0 by this, now we'll be having a different mean. Okay, because in PDB it got stored according to its works. Okay. Now, if you go to the another one, if same we are trying to do it for two variables, then you have correct. We are trying to sum of the variables from P1 to P12 and extra from this to this. So we are taking almost of 12 variables into account for doing a sum. So here we are using to calculate the sum for these all variables, which is nothing but this 12 variable and this 12 variable. Okay. Now here we have few function over here, nothing but your absolute. If a number is in your terms of negative, it will convert into your positive. So when you apply absolute, so it will always give you result as positive. So square root functions, exponential functions, and log functions is all functions only. So whenever you required, you have a log function. In a log, we have different type of log. So you can use log base 10 or log base 2 or something else. This is all calculation part. Okay. So it depends when you required, you can use it. So this all give you this absolute value. If it is in my, so this is actual value, it is gives you absolute value. And this is square root 1432 for a 2. For a 10, how much square root will be there? This exponent, this is natural number. So using a logarithm function by base 10 or a base 2. You remember this in 10, 12, we have did all those calculations for calculating of log, exponent. So it required in financial term, when you go to any finance industry and they use this calculation alone. And this is nothing but we are talked about constant, correct? So what is the value of pi? What is the value of p constant? And what is the value again if you say I have 3 digit as my length for a numeric? How much value it can store? Okay, so if you go like this, so if you have look at this pi value is 3.142, correct? So which is 20 pi by 7, correct? So if you divide pi by 7, you'll get the value of 3.1742. So when you say na pi square, pi by 2, pi r square, so circumference of your circle, we use pi option. So for do calculation, these are the value given it. For this is the value for e constant. And when you say we have a 3 digit as a length for any integers, so how much value it can store? So here we use, when you say 3 dot, so how much value it can store? So 3 dot can store the value of 8192. When you say 4 dot, that's your length of your numeric variable. So if you look at this 6, it's enough to cover all type of numbers. It's a billion, trillion, all those things. Getting it? This way say numeric variable is 3. The largest integer can represent by without losing the accuracy of this. So length 4 represent the integer up to this many number. So 5, 6 is enough. So generally, if you take your length as 5, it's enough to go ahead and look at that. Okay, next we have a random function which we have talked about. So I'll explain you the random number. So random number is getting generated based on your system date and time. So based on your time, this time seconds and system date, it is generating a random number. It is getting keep on changing it. And random number is getting generated between 0 and 1, the basic functions. So again, random number is nothing but the number which is assigned to your row to capture the number of sample size, to take a different type of sample size from your population data. Another thing is there, if you try to use uni function, which is nothing but to generate a random number, and if you use 0, it keep on changing whenever you're going to execute the program. So random number is not going to fixed when you use ran uni as 0. So ran uni is nothing but.
Yeah.
So when you use this function, which is nothing but the ran uni, equal to ran uni 0, what will happen? Your random number keep on changing based on your clock time. Okay, so each and every time if you execute a program, your number will get changed. Another is there, if you can use the seed number, which is nothing but the value between 1 to 7, any value, between 1 to 7. Due to this, you are able to stop your clock. Clock in the sense the value is not going to be changed. Whatever the value assigned between 0 and 1, it is not going to change. It is going to be fixed. Okay, that is nothing but the seed number which we say. Okay, so here we talked about all those value which is going to be generated between 1 to 0. Okay, and this is called PUCDCO random number by snoops. So order to compute and share the provided a seed number, generate the first number in the random sequence. If you use 0 or a negative number as a seed, computer use the clock to supply the seed number. If you use a positive integer, that number is used as a seed. SAS recommend that you choose a seed as 7 digit, almost. So 1 to 7 digit, you can choose it. If supply a seed number, your sequence is not going to be changed. So don't try to use 0. 0 is used whenever the lucky draw keep on running it. Correct. Now you one time you had made a lucky draw for 3 people. Now again you want to make a lucky draw for 3 people. Correct. So you wanted to redraw. So redraw, there will be a possibility that same guys can get selected or may not get selected. So this will change your sequence. Okay, so if you use 0, you won't get a particular random number. But if you use a number between 1 to 7, your random number which you executed first time, that will be there for your second time also. Okay.
Yeah.
So this way, here if you look, they are trying to use the ran uni functions. Okay, and they are trying to keep this seed number. They are not using 0. So what will happen with the seed number? The ran uni assigned value will be fixed one. So how we use ran uni is nothing but, so let's say I have observation of almost, look at this. Use the library for cap. We have this many records. Okay, I want 10% of data from 50. Correct. So what I can do first, I'll create the random number for these variables. So I can say, okay, data new equal to set of like ry dot cap 2000 and ran equal to ran uni. If I take 0, see, I'll show you what is happening with 0. If you take it back 4, the number is got assigned over here, correct? This is nothing but the random number, the value between 0 and 1. So 9 will be the nearest one. It's 100%. Okay, so we assign this number, and if you wanted to try to extract the, so if you again go ahead and execute this program. So if you look at the number 577, now for a first observation, it is going to be changed when you execute it again back. Okay, it was already opened, so it doesn't have any effect. If you try executing it as per clock speed, it is going to be changed. Getting it? Now, if you wanted to fix this random number, I don't want random number to be keep on repeating it. So you can choose any number between this. So if I execute now, look at the 4 as first observation value for ran is 6849. If I try executing again back, so my random number is not going to be changed. Correct?
Yeah.
So now, if I say directly, I want 10% of a data, so directly I can say if ran is gt, not less lt, less than 0.1. Correct? This is a 10% of your data. Getting it? So this is saying, sorry, no, not 10%, 002. Sorry.
Yeah.
Uh, I might.
10%
Okay, this is 10%.
point
Sorry.
one. Point.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And the value,
And you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 can be anything.
yeah, it can be anything. See, when you assign a random number, it is not going to show which number is this. So when you use, that's why I said, if you are keep on doing a lucky draw for a 10-10 observation, use 0. If you wanted to fix lucky draw, then you can use seed number and you can extract this value. So what is happening? There is a probability. So now if I go ahead and execute, not here, we'll try to do it with another one. There is another concept which we are trying to get the sample data. Correct. So now another query we have for which is nothing but we have a keyword called proc server select. So which is nothing but if you have a population data and you wanted to do a study and you wanted to take a similar properties of a data in your sample for a study, you can use proc select. So what proc select will do for you, you need to provide what type of method you're applying it. So method is something where we say as I want same, I don't want same number of observation. I don't want not to appear the same number of observations. And another is there, it could be possibility the same number of observation may occur. Correct. So two type of concept is there. So when you use this is the all start function. So we are using this proc service select and we are trying to say for a blood data, and this will be the new dataset name. I'm using a SRS method, which is a simple random sample. This is the type of a method which we use it. Okay, there's a two type of method. One is simple random sampling with replacement or without replacement. So what is with replacement and without replacement? If so, there's a similar number of observation is there. So there may be chances that if you're using a random number, the same row may occur while selecting of your observation. Correct. In a randomly. Another case is that you don't want duplicate observation to be occurred while taking a random sample. Correct. Got it?
Yeah.
So this is nothing but talk about your sample size. So if you have population data as 500, 5,000, and you want a sample as 100, which is nothing to be selected as from the method of random sample. What will happen? This will give you the direct 10% of your 100 data from your this blood data. If you go ahead and look at this, so I can directly say I'm going to try with this SAS user. I want a 10% of it, 10 data from your sample size. So let's say this is your SAS user. I wanted to look for cap info. So many info is there. I want 10 observation from this whole amount of data. So 50 data is there. So I can say directly cap info. Correct. So subset name will be our data set name will be subset. We are using a simple random sample with replacement. Correct. Over here you can do there's a two method. So here without replacement. So there may be a chance to occur your data set as two duplicate row. When you say without replacement, there's another method which we use it. Now, if you go ahead and look at this, I want only a 5 observation as to be selected randomly. Go ahead and execute. So this is not. So this is cap info. If you go ahead and run. So now if you look at this analysis which they're saying, you're trying to execute this cap data set, cap info data set, and random number seed number automatically they generates. What is the sample size? You want to take 5. What is the probability of selection? It's a 10% chance from each selection. So because as you knew that there is a 50 data, okay, and they're giving a probability of selection is 0.1, sample weight is 10, subset is the name of a data set. Getting it? It's nothing but now if you go ahead and look your data set, there'll be 5 observations and that need to be selected as randomly. Okay. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
We went through this concept. We were talking about this process, how it works. To take us 5 sample size from the method of SRS without replacement, and we end up with getting this 5 observations. Okay. So next we have a special function which is nothing but to convert from. Remember last time in merge we are trying to use this input function, correct? Need to convert from character to numeric to character, correct? So input is used to convert the value from character to numeric, and put is used to convert from numeric to character. Getting it? So input is used to convert the value into numeric, whereas in put we have to convert the value from numeric to character. Getting it? So when you are defining your input, you need to define your in format. Remember it. When you define your put, you need to define your format. So when you are looking to convert the value, you should tell this instruction that which way you need to convert, correct? And when you want it to display, so you need to use a format option, correct? The same we are using over here. Put is used to convert from numeric to character. You need to provide this format option, not a in format. This we are talking about lag function. Always returns you when you say lag 1, it returns you the previous value. So it look like this. So you have actual value. Now previous value will be, when you say lag 1, the previous value, one value is skipped and they will be giving those value. 2 lag is nothing but this. So actually in time series, when you go and read about time series, you'll be having these many formula to be implemented to make your data smooth. Getting it? And this is nothing but the logic they are building over here. They're trying to use if x is greater than. So this if x is greater than 5, then lag is equal to lag x. So lag what does? It skips one value. Okay. So now, yeah, right. Output C. Now, so lag will be one is skipped. So it will start from 9, 8, correct? So it's correct. For this also correct. For this is not correct. Okay. If it is greater than 5, then lag 1. Hmm. for each and everything for x value. So now 7 is okay. Is 7 okay?
Yeah.
For a 1, why missing is coming up? Then 2 for also we are getting missing. Now, see, directly you can do separately for this. Okay, try to get this value in next level in Excel. And try to look at what he's trying to say. Now it's going to, oh shit. So now you have 9, 8, correct? 7, 1, 2, 12. Now when I say if x is greater than 5, so this is greater than 5 for first observation we are doing. So I'll be getting the value like this, correct? Correct? If x is greater than 5, then okay, done. Then if x is your greater than again 5, then again you do the second. Getting it? For second will be same similar, correct? There won't be a change. Correct? For a 7, there won't be a change. So 7 also will be like this, each iteration. Hmm? Now the problem with 1 and 2. Correct? So we are not going to meet this condition over there. So for a 1, we are not trying to meet this condition. It will be dot, it will be dot. Now saying if my value, this 12, which is again x is greater than 5, it's there. Correct? So it's going to start with what? 7 only. So there's no value exist over here. If you take this, then you start with after 12. So start with all missings. Getting it? Okay, try doing it. Okay, this is a concept you don't know. Then another is there. This is we have already did to find out the differentiate between the lag value. Correct? So already we have a temperature data. When we do lag minus temperature, what will happen? So let's say you have a data like this. I wanted to know the differential between 1 and 2. So what I can do over here, the simple calculation which they built it over here is 60, 62, 65. Actually, we are using for this. Actually, I just started one week back of time series analysis in my company to forecast almost of a sales for all US region. So it's a bit difficult. So we keep on using transformation through log only. So now with the help of this, what you'll do, you'll be with the lag function, you'll be doing like this, correct? Now another function is they're saying, okay, this minus this value, which is nothing but you're getting this value, correct? This is not required. We have wanted a value for this, correct? Which is nothing but 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? So directly you can use with the formula. And another one, we have the concept called diff of temperature. It will be doing same work. So you can use that formula too. If you're using diff of temperature, it directly will give you the difference between two values. If you say difference of 2, it will give you the difference between 3 value. So to make the data smooth, we try to use this. Sometimes what happen, your trend will not correct normal. Let's say you have a data like this, and if you wanted to plot, you won't be able to get this particular trend. To make the smooth data, we take average of that to predict the value.
ठीक है.
Getting it?
So how different would you work to 65 to 60 में different?
See. I'll show you log how it works. Lag in time series. You won't use anywhere. Lag is only used into time series. See, wherever you use, only lag. It's all for time series. This is only for time series data to make your data smooth. So here we see what is happening. See, if you look, we have value like this. I'll show you this. Takes time to open so that I could show you the data how it is. It takes time. So that's why see over here it is given now. So lag of 1, 2, 3. They'll create the sequence of a data. Okay, so this is all about lag. So to make that uniform distribution in time series, you always use lag function. So even in a MATLAB, they're trying to use this lag. So MATLAB, you heard about MATLAB?
Yes.
Yeah. So you might use or what?
No, we don't use it.
Okay, this is for again for a MATLAB because MATLAB is very famous mathematical packages software. So there also they're using this lag function. The lag function is to 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 look at the future. Okay, to look at the future, how differences you're getting. I just want to leave it then. There's a problem with R. If I said if you copy this, they're going to create the data set. The data set is got created. Problem with R, leave it. Lag will only give you this function. So I think that's okay. So differential will give you the difference between this. Then you have a problem need to be completed again for this chapter.
Okay.
Wanted to go ahead. So evening at what time again you keep session?
Evening में आप you tell me. I'll give you an update by 5 p.m. if I will be I can join.
Okay, because after 7 there is a class happening.
Okay.
Which
Okay. नहीं फिर तो नहीं फिर I will be available later in the evening.
okay, so you just text me, okay, if you are comfortable at 4 or 5 or somewhere else, you just text me.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start and
Actually,
go. Okay.
I have a query on question
No problem.
exercise.
Yeah, no problem. Go back. So where? Yeah. Chapter.
So इसमें it is asking you to generate Monday to Wednesday using do loop. So do loop करके week कैसे generate होता है? मतलब क्या इसमें
So what you can do, copy this, okay. Copy this till Sunday. Day equal to
is there a shortcut जैसे वो 1 to 5 I 1 to 100 लिखते हैं तो
shortcut in the sense you can use this.
नहीं so I हाँ so मुझे लगा इसमें लिखा है इसमें strictly लिखा होगा कि um, um, use a do loop to create the day variable. So I got confused. I thought कि कुछ होगा.
So this is the day, correct?
Yeah.
So here you will get Sunday. Correct. So what you can do over here, you can use the keyword called output. And if you wanted to run this loop for a month wise, what you can do? You can do one more things. This is not this only giving you the day. Okay. Then if you wanted to rotate by month, then you can define two more loop. To month equal to 1 to 30.
Do month 1 to 30.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here you have to do modification. So now your task is to look at that. Every month should have a start from 1 to 30. Here it is repeating it. So you can avoid doing it. You need to think the logic again. So you have 12 month. Okay. You have 12 month. Okay. And you have 30 days. Correct.
Yes.
30. So you have to think as a way that you can say, I have a 12 month, I have a 30 days, and day is going to be assigned by Monday to Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
So here they are trying to say that something. So you have a following 7 values for the temperature day of the week of this, create a temporary. So what you can do, you store this all values into this particular day and then try to create the temperature.
Yeah. Right. Got it.
Okay. Any more confusion?
No.
Okay, then just inform me when you wanted to connect before 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'll upload this video in an hour. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure.
Okay. Thank you.